So the mentorship program is called A-List in the Industry. It's a 10-month payment plan, but I really squeezed this in 8 months. And I could stretch it out to 10 months, but you know what? I want you guys to move fast. So I could make it all 10 months and make the payment plan 10 months, and then you'd have to wait a little bit longer. I'd rather, like somebody like Elmar, he wants it as soon as he can. He just wants to take it and consume it. So I make it shorter, 8 months. But then I trust, it is a 10-month payment plan, I trust that you're going to pay me for the 10 months. It's a payment plan. And just like a car payment, just like a credit card payment, whatever, it's a payment plan. If I made it all 8 months, then the monthly payment would have to go up, and then that would be maybe make it more difficult for you guys. So we stretch it out over 10 months, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. So there's the 2-week, the 14-day money-back guarantee, and I just want you to be able to see what this program is, just see how it works, come to the calls, get the first 2 modules, see what this is. And most people, after they're in this thing, they're just like, oh my God, are you fucking kidding me? I'll burn the bridges to continue to stay in this program and do this, because this is the solution. This is what I'm looking for. And after the 14 days is when we really start getting into the really valuable stuff, because I'm not going to give the really valuable stuff to the people that are that are not quite committed. So the first 2 weeks, you're going to learn a ton, and you're going to see what this is. And then after that, we are on our frickin' way, okay? What the promise of this program is to become the most in-demand, respected, trusted professional in your niche, which can be acting, writing, directing, producing, sound, hair, makeup, special effects makeup, can be stunts, it can be anything. It can be 2 of these niches. It can be acting and camera. It can be writing and directing. It can be art department, like a production designer and an actor. That's a great life. If you've been watching the videos, you will know that becoming an actor, where you only get acting work when you fit that role, and it's what everybody thinks, oh yeah, you look like that role and you of course can act, then you're going to get that role, okay? So you're going to be doing a lot of auditioning, but professional auditions, but in addition to that, you can also work in the film industry, where you're making, in these niche jobs, where you're making $500 for 10 hours, and you're working every week. So you're working whether you are on set in front of the camera, or you're working behind the camera, it doesn't matter. You're in the film industry. That's a good life. That's an exciting life. You may find that you go to travel to Europe for a behind the camera job, and then you end up in front of the camera. Happens all the time. This is a film industry. Okay, for all of these different, any niche that you want to do, other than like distribution, that is not on-set job. Working for the studios, that's mostly marketing and distribution. Those are not on-set jobs. What we're teaching here is how to do the actual production, the on-set jobs before pre-production, during production, and post-production. And also post-production, because if you're an editor, the way to stand out as an editor, because there's millions of editors, everybody knows Final Cut, everybody knows how to edit, but how you stand out as an editor is you become more. You actually get on set and you learn more. And you know why the director chose that shot, and why they did it that way, and why they use effects that way, and now they got to paint this out. And you're able to communicate with people at a whole nother level, which makes you stand out, and which gets you the jobs. Standing out equals jobs. There are 6 phases to this program, the A-List program. A-List means being first call. By the way, it's not bad to be second and third call for different people. Remember, you're freelance. First call is when you're the first call for a lot of people. That's great. That's awesome. Second and third call is also not a bad deal either, because then those fill in your days, you guys. And this is just information that you will know when you become an in-demand professional, but that's the way that it works. Step by step for each niche. This is what we're doing. You guys don't have to think about or do anything extra. You just follow the A-List program step by step, and you are going to get where you want to be in your niche, the fastest way to get in your niche. And you truly are cutting off 10 years of this whole process, because the other ways of getting into acting, the other ways of getting into writing, is basically doing your work, doing auditioning, doing your writing, and hoping that somebody finds you. Which we talked about this before, nobody's looking for you. Because how professionals get work is by referring work to each other. So therefore, you are getting straight into the game where you're meeting all the professionals and getting referred work. You're doing exactly the way that the film industry works. And the reason why most of the people that you know that are actors and writers and directors and producers, if they're not working, they are simply not inside. That's why. And that's why they're not getting anywhere, because that's why it's so difficult. You must get inside, because it's all people knowing each other and referring each other. It's just and once you're in the business, you're going to understand this completely. And when people contact you and say, "Hey, can you help me?" You're not going to want to help them, because you know the way that the industry works, and you're going to say, "Well, you've got to get in, find a way in, just like I did." You'll probably refer friends on film. That's what people do, is they refer friends on film, because this is the way to get into that word of mouth business. So how? Well, let's talk about that. Phase 1, month 1, is positioning. So right now you're like, nobody knows who I am really. Nobody sees me as really unique. We're talking, when we say nobody, I'm talking about professionals. You want a way to have professionals know who you are, like you, remember you. You want to have a story about you. You want to have a way of talking to people so that you don't feel like you're bragging, but you're also not being too aggressive. This is all positioning. You want to have a way of knowing what professionals are doing so that you can talk about it, a way of connecting with them. This is all positioning. This is all for you to understand. It's like a foundation of understanding what makes people tick in the film industry. And then you're making yourself tick in a way that is just like, "Oh my God, I love you. You're just awesome." So that's what gets you the work. Okay. Phase 2, which is month 2 to 3, is where you get experience. You guys are pretty experienced. Some of you guys are quite experienced. Some of you guys have no experience. And some of you guys went to film school and you have experience. You're going to take all your experience you have, and that's awesome. And then you're going to learn the Friends on Film way to get experience, which is exactly what the people who hire want to see. And it's stuff that you may not have considered as being things that you should be doing that really get you hired. So that's what the secret is. So you're going to be getting experience our way. It doesn't matter if you don't have any experience. You're going to learn what to do. You're going to get an experience list, and I'll get more into detail on this in a second, but you're going to get an experience list, and you're going to go out there and get exactly that experience, which is what people want to see. And then you'll be able to put that on your resume, and you will look like the best qualified person. And it doesn't matter if you've never done anything before, and if you're worried, how am I going to get this experience? The program will show you how to get it in a real world setting, and just build it, and so that you get fast, you get good, you get competent, you know what you're doing. Then phase 3, month 4 to 6, is the tornado of work, which is that where you got shoot after shoot after shoot. You've got so many shoots happening that your whole month is filled with shoots. Your days are filled with shoots. Now initially in month 4 to 6, you're going to have your day job, and you're going to be fitting in the program inside your daily schedule. So maybe you have Mondays off. You're going to be working to get on film shoots on Mondays and on the weekends. Maybe you're done working at 5 o'clock. You're going to be getting on shoots during the nighttime or after 5 o'clock. And you're going to be, once you get into the paid professional work, you're going to have to be turning down some days on your day job because you can't split those days up. So that makes sense, right? So in the experience phase, you can split the days up, but once you get into the paid professional work, you're going to have to take off days. You're going to have to take vacation. You're going to have to do whatever you need to do, because when you get the opportunity to get on a paid professional shoot, you've got to take it, because that's really how you will be building your whole career. Paid professional work, you're there. Okay, but you've got to get that tornado going, and we will be doing that during the program. This whole program is action during the whole thing. So you're learning stuff, you're watching videos, you're coming to the calls, and you're in the mastermind. All these 4 things. And then you're going out into the world and you're doing it. And you're juggling your day job at the same time, and your life, and your children if you have that too. So if you're like, "Oh my God, that's a lot." Yes, it's a lot, but people are doing it, and people do it. And if you really want this life, then you'll do it. If you're don't want this life, then you won't do it. But the people that actually do what other people won't do get an extraordinary life. You know, you'll still get enough sleep at night. You know, maybe you just have to take on more and maybe assign more people to help you out during the day. You know, like maybe somebody's got to do the laundry now because you're more busy than you were in the past, but you're building something. You're building a new career that is exactly what you want, and it pays great. Phase 4, month 6, is where you move into the niche. Now, you're still going to be doing the assistant jobs during this time, but you're going to be using the assistant jobs to be able to move into the niche. And I'll show you exactly how to do that. And the niches would be acting, directing, writing, stunts, because all these departments, like camera department, sound department, hair, makeup, special effects, makeup, effects, they're there on almost every shoot. You know, like the effects team I just worked last week, there was an effects guy there. And he was such a nice guy, English accent, you know, really cool. He would tell you everything and anything. And that was just one day, one shoot. So there you'd go. You just go, you meet him, you talk to him, and you would find so much out about that niche. And that's just one day. Then the next week you might have 3 days, and then effects might be on a couple of those days. Or say your camera. There's camera department on every single shoot, obviously. All the departments are on almost every single shoot, with the exception of effects, special effects, makeup, and stunts. But there's writers, there's directors, there's camera, there's sound, there's hair, there's makeup, there's art department, there's lighting, there's teacher, there's medic, there's all these jobs. So you have the opportunity to meet hundreds of people all the time during this phase and during this phase, where you're able to have them take you under their wing and become people that actually care about you and your career and referring you to work and referring you to people. So as you know, the whole industry is who you know. So when you get a professional referring you, or when you get hundreds of professionals referring you, it becomes very exciting and you move very fast. This is the whole thing. This is why you must get inside. And then phase 5, which is month 7, is where you're starting to really develop mentors in your niche. And phase 6, month 8, is where you start doing what we call the niche tornado. This is where you start working in your niche, and that's mostly what you're doing. You may still work in the assistant tornado, but they complement each other perfectly. And if you want to set yourself up for success, you guys, that's what you do. You use the tornado to get referrals into the niche tornado of work. And that once you're doing that, you're making well over $500 a day, and you're doing this, say 10 or 15 days a month. That's $7,500 to $9,000 or $10,000 a month. Times 12, that's $120,000 a year or more, obviously, is very normal. And this may not happen by month 8, by the way. You're like, oh no, it's not going to happen by month 8. It's going to take a while, you guys, to build this stuff. But I want you to have the information. I want you to have it now so that you can be building this as fast as you possibly can. I'm going to tell you stuff that other people you will not hear on set. Other people on set will say, well, you've got to work for a couple of years as a second assistant camera, and then after maybe 5 years, you can move up to a first assistant camera. Maybe in 10 or 15 years, you can become a DP. We don't necessarily follow the rules because really there are not any rules for the film industry. That's because, you guys, listen to me now, it's just a bunch of shoots and a bunch of people. So if you go from starting off being a production assistant and within 1 month or 2 months you are now a DP, and you hold that persona, you have that knowledge, you are that, you know how to light, you know your shit, nobody's gonna say, hey, you can't do that. Nobody's gonna do that because there's nobody watching you, really. When I started, you guys, I did what nobody else does. I moved faster, 10 years faster than everybody else at the time. And so what I'm saying is, when I started off, I was supposed to start off and work as a utility and work in TV, and I was supposed to work as a boom operator for a couple of years, and then finally, after 10 or 15 years, then I was supposed to become a sound mixer. Well, I never was somebody to go, oh yeah, I'll do that. I'm like, no, I'm going to become a sound mixer and make that money right away. And I'm going to come into sound mixing from E&G, which is video work. Nobody had done that. I never met anybody at that time that had ever done that. They had all come through working up through the different ranks to get to that department head level. Very rare. I still haven't met anybody that has done what I did, except for the people that I'm teaching here through Friends on Film, because I'm saying, hey, you guys, you can do that. Nobody's going to say, hey, you didn't do that. If you can do the job, that's the way they see you. They just see you like that. There definitely are very young DPs, directors, 25 years old, and maybe they started when they were 15. They may have had films at Sundance when they were 15. So, it's not like they just started. So people start, there's a lot of young people. And so I just say, go as fast as you can and don't look back. And know that there's no rules. If you hold yourself as that, then they're going to just believe it, I couldn't even eat breakfast. I would arrive on set and I'd be so nervous because I didn't really feel like belonged there. I went there too fast and I didn't know what to expect. So because of that, I would get there and I'd be like, we have breakfast in the morning. They make you anything, scrambled eggs, omelets, French toast, strawberry, whatever you want. And I couldn't eat anything, not till lunchtime. And people would kind of notice that and be like, or the people that would work with me, oh, you're too nervous to eat any breakfast. I'm like, yeah, and it was true. And probably took about 6 months. And then I started kind of feeling, okay, I know what's going to be thrown at me. I know what I'm going to be able to do. I know what I'm doing. And, my cart got better. My van got better. I got better. I start using the right language, so, and then I just kind of relaxed and got better. But yeah, I love to tell you this so that you can kind of see yourself like, maybe 6 months into the future, you're going to be jumping into stuff and doing stuff that you're like, oh my God, I don't, I've never done this before. It's so important to me that I do a good job and that people think that I do a good job so that I get hired again. And that's why you have the nervousness. But at the same time, the way I put myself out there was like, I've done National Geographic. I've worked on harder stuff than what I'm doing here today, doing commercials. Because actually, that stuff was harder. Commercials is easier. The highest budget, best jobs sometimes can be easier than the lower budget stuff. That just goes to show you that it's not the technical part of the job that gets you hired. It's the persona. So that's why we talk about persona so much. I would bring my A game, I'd bring my A persona, and I kept getting hired again and again and again, and you will too. The first 3 phases are primarily getting into the industry. The last 4 phases are using, once you're inside the industry, to move into the niche. When you're getting into the industry, the jobs make $200 a day, and you should be doing 10 to 15 days in a month. So that is around $3,000 a month, makes it easy to pay for the program. This may not happen until you get to month maybe 4 through 6. It's different for everybody, but that's okay. So this means that you just need to up your game, work overtime, do babysitting on the weekends. You're talking about upping your game every weekend, maybe making extra $100 every weekend, every week. Up your game where you're making extra $100. Now in the past, you haven't had a reason to really do that, so you haven't really been thinking about it or motivated to do it. But now you're like, oh yeah, now you actually, once you start to decide that you want to do this, that you start to kind of find ways to do this. This is what I see over and over again. Because my gosh, think about it. You want to be in the film industry, the highest, most in-demand industry, and you want to move to the top. So if you're somebody that's serious about that, then making an extra $500 in a month, that's like peanuts. That's like you need to be able to go, I can figure that out with my little pinky finger. And if you're like, no, I can't, well then step into it, because I want you to be approaching the film industry like, hey, I can do most of this stuff with my pinky finger. That's the kind of feeling I want you to have, because that is going to give you success. So when you look at a challenge and you go, oh, I can't do that, you're absolutely right. As you know, you can't. But if you're like, you know what? I can do it. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to babysit. I'm going to go, I'll call all these people. I will clean houses. I will clean up. I will organize closets. I will help people with their computers. I will mow lawns. I don't give a crap, because this is getting me to my goal of working in the film industry. It's just, coming up with the extra $500 a month. You can do that. I mean, I know you can do that. I could do that. I could do that when I was traveling around the world. Somehow I'd find a way to do it. So I'm sure that you can do it too. So for the first couple months, see, the film industry, you guys, takes a little bit of, you gotta be worth that money. You gotta get good. You gotta learn what to do to set yourself up for that, to get this thing happening where people are hiring you consistently on these paid jobs. I know everybody wants a paid job right away, but you're going to see that you're not ready for it. People that even people that are very experienced, even people that are very experienced, that are directing, writing, doing stuff at a very high level, you still are not quite ready for it until you've gone through what the training is teaching you, because it sets you up with your head and your knowledge and the way that you speak and what you say, so that you're music to these people's ears, which makes all the doors open. So you can have a tremendous amount of knowledge and have done a ton of stuff, and you can say, I'm ready for these jobs, but you don't know what you don't know, because you haven't been exposed to it yet. And once you're exposed to it, just like most of this career on fire training, you're like, oh my God, all this makes so much sense. And it makes sense because, yeah, it is common knowledge, but it makes sense. Once you are exposed to it, then if you have experience already, you're just going to go. It's just going to go in even faster. You're going to go, oh my God, that's a great point. Oh yeah, I get that, because you've already lived like half of that, and now you're adding just exactly what works for the film industry with it, and now it's just like, okay, let me just do this. And you do it, and then you have results. So the phase one is positioning, becoming ultra attractive to people to hire. Because even if you have a lot of experience or you don't have a lot of experience, the most important thing is becoming ultra attractive so that you are constantly on these film sets, so that you get inside. It's the most important thing. It's like step one and the most important thing initially. But it will always be so important, because whether you're going for a directing job or a DP job, you need to become ultra attractive. You got to be music to these people's ears so that they decide to hire you over other people. So looking exceptional. There's a formula for looking exceptional. And we have a certain way of doing our business cards, our phone virtual card, our signature, our email, even the photos that we put out there of ourselves are a certain way that give a certain feeling. The emails, just writing an email. Most people write very long or too formal of an email. Less is more. You're going to find that our emails are very casual, friendly, but just boom, boom, boom. They are not like trying to convince. They're not like trying to sell yourself. They are assuming already that the person is going to hire you. Now, something like that, that's like freaking worth, how much is that worth? I mean, just that in itself, something that gets people to open the door and get you to hire you, what's that worth? When they hire you, you're making $200. So if they hire you 10 times, you're making $2,000. So if you're doing that for the rest of your career, that equals $50, $100, $200, $300, $500,000. You learn it right off the bat. That's very valuable. It's not just one little thing, but it's a huge thing. All of this stuff is huge. How you dress, how much makeup you put on, how you are, how prepared you look, the questions you ask. Very important, because you can ask a question and turn off people when you come up to them again, they're busy. and now you don't get that. Now they kind of close the door and you don't know why. So this is super important. The knowledge, your knowledge base, and when to ask people questions. The time to ask them questions, what questions to ask. Oh, it's just like we are showing you all the secrets to opening all these doors with people, which is what it's all about. You're going to learn how to get standout knowledge. So you have your knowledge that you have today already, but that knowledge hasn't gotten you working in the film industry like crazy, has it, right? So you're going to learn what you need to know that will get people to just be like, oh my gosh, that person's amazing. And that's about the only thought that they're having in their head. They're not going, oh, I wonder what else they know. No, it's just impression, you guys. So one of the first things we do is a magic list. That is where you know all the producers, production managers, production companies, DPs, casting, whatever field you're in, all the directors, you know them all. And you're able to know them, you know what they've done. You are obsessed. You become obsessed, as if you weren't already. But, right now you might be like, I don't even know what's going on around me. Magic List, which you get in Module 2, you're going to find out everything that's going on around you. And most people are just like, oh my God, this is so exciting. Finally, I can see it all. Okay, you're going to know, if you're an actor, you're going to know all the casting companies, the real ones. You're going to know all the feature film companies, the certain sectors of the film industry. Say you want to get into feature films, you're going to know all of the production companies that just do feature films or commercials or sports. You're going to know who the agents are. You're going to know who the real casting directors are, which you might know some of those, but to know them, know what they've done, see, that's exceptional. DPs, same thing. Okay, you may be a director through and through, but you may want to also study and become a production designer, so that one way or another you're working and you always have the money coming in. Production designers make $1,000 a day. Directors can make $10,000 a day. And if you're like, yeah, but don't I need to focus on one or the other? Well, you can focus on whatever you want. Once you're inside the business and working, you're going to anyway. You're not going to be able to turn your brain off. You're going to be like totally going for what fascinates you anyway. It's just that you're going to find a lot more stuff that really fascinates you. So you may find different niches that you never even considered. For sound, for me, you guys, it's not like I was like, oh, I love sound. I don't know, have anything to do with anything technical, really. I never even studied anything with music, nothing. So the reason why I got into sound was I wanted that lifestyle. So, and then I found out that I love being a head of a department. And the way the job is and how I interact with the director, the producer, the production people, and my own department, the fact that people don't know exactly what goes into sound, so I don't have to sell people, I tell them the way that it goes, and then it goes that way. I like all of that, all these little things that you'll find that you can only find by doing the job. So you may find that what fits your personality is writing and acting, or directing and writing, or camera, maybe being a first assistant camera and acting, or being a DP and then maybe acting, You can even do like stunts and be a DP, but usually people do choose one or the other. It's all up to you, but the main thing I want you to do is just notice that there's just many different things that you've never even considered. Because you're thinking about this, just the job, whether you'd like it, but you don't even know all of the little elements of the job. Like I just said, for sound mixing, it allows me to travel, allows me to be the head of the department. It impacts the people that I interface with, and I like how I interface with them because it's these certain kind of conversations. It uses my personality perfectly because personality is the most important thing. I can do the job technically just fine. I understand it. Pretty much any technical job, anybody here can do any of those jobs. Sure, there's some stuff like DIT that you're going to have to learn, but yeah, you can learn it. Don't worry about it. Nothing is out of range for you. I just want to tell you that. Within 6 months of a year of studying it, you're going to be able to do it. No problem. It's not beyond you at all, okay? And then we work on confidence training because you always want to be able to bring your best self either in the production offices or on set or during wrap, or when you're meeting professionals, when you're pitching your stories, when you're talking to a production designer that's connected and you're talking about what you've been working on, and maybe you show them your reel or something at that point. You want to come across in a certain way where it's quiet confidence. It's like calm confidence. And you know, you want to, it's a lot of things. It's like just learning to breathe, learning to use your body to put yourself in a confident stance. Because as you guys know, you see somebody confident walking in the room and they don't have to even say anything. There's some people that just command the room and they don't even say much. And you're going to learn how to do that because that's what gets people to remember you. It gives you presence, and you have to be present. You can't be in your head trying to get things to happen. You'll learn how to identify scams, and there's a ton of them. So any time that they pursue you, like, you know, oh, we saw you and we feel that you're so, you know, your look is exactly what we're looking for and we think that we could market you, then it's a scam. Or when they get these long descriptions of the job and how much it pays and what you'll be doing, and then you know that it's a scam. If it seems too good to be true, then it usually is. Our people, since when they implement our program, and you guys too, you're out there looking and looking and looking, well, that's when you come across the scams. So sometimes these scams are pretty good, and they're in all areas. They're in even for production assistants, because they know that people are out there trying to get these jobs. So there's all these scams that are targeting production assistant, director assistant, producer assistant, camera jobs, photography jobs, and of course acting. Phase 2, which is month 2 to 3, is where you're getting experience. And it's really month 2 to onward, 2 to forever, basically. But you're going to learn our methods to get experience, the Friends in Film way, where you get good, you get fast, and you get confident as you do it because you understand how it all fits together. Experience list is a list of things that when you walk on set, you just pull it out and you do it. And then people will notice. And so you're not standing there checking your phone or checking your texts like most other people. You're jumping into action, you're doing this and this and this. It's not like you're working your ass off. You're just doing specific things that is exactly what you should be doing. And then people will notice that, and then they're going to be giving you more and more to do, because when they give you more to do, like when a production designer asks you, hey, can you do this? What's happening there? Well, you're getting a relationship. Every time that you help somebody, like a director or producer or the camera department, you're building that relationship. So that's what's so important about it. So when you do the experience list, you guys, this is tremendous value in this, is that when you do certain things, people see you doing it, and then they don't even know what's going on, but they're just like, they'll ask you, hey, can you do this? Because they saw you doing that other thing, and they see you in action. So they figure you know what the hell you're doing. So they will now just start to have that impression that you are good. Well, that's exactly what you want. That's how you get referred into your next paid gig. The next thing is the Get On Shoots method. This is one of our best methods, and it works. And if you have no experience now, doesn't matter. You do the Get On Shoots method, and you start getting experience. And it's just like magic. And people come in, they're just like, I don't understand. How do you get the work? Well, this method is how you get the work. And I'm not going to explain it to you because it's in the program, and it's for people that are friends in film. People that are friends in film, we have tremendous advantage over everybody because of this information and because of doing it. It's not just the information, you got to do it too. You got to live it and be it. The third thing is the transition plan. How to make this all work so that you can make the shoots work with your day job and make it work in your schedule. Because obviously everybody that's starting this program has a job, because nobody just has a ton of money sitting around. Everybody's got their problems and their issues, and they've got their visa issues, and they've got their this and that, and their car, and their parents. Everybody's got stuff. Kids, everybody's got stuff. So you're gonna, but you want to be in the film industry at the same time. And you're like, it's not like it's like a nice idea at this point. This is like what you want, so you're freaking doing it. Well, that means you're actually going to transition. It's funny what something clicks in the head when you go from like, oh, that would be nice, that'd be great, that'd be amazing. See that stuff, thinking like that doesn't get you anywhere. But when you actually start doing stuff to make it, you schedule it in there, you know, and you're doing it, it's real, it's happening. The world moves. I talked about mistakes before. Mistakes, you're going to make them. And how you handle them is extremely important, because you can make mistakes and actually have it be where you stand out from them and people hire you. Isn't that crazy? But it's true. So that is a very important training. Acting experience, how to get acting roles for your reel, how to be on set so that professionals see you and put you in the film. You get a professional acting role, you become SAG eligible, and you get something professionally shot for your reel, and now agents are interested. Once you have something professional, now they're interested. And they're also interested in the fact that you're not just an actor that's just like everybody else auditioning. You actually know all these people that they know. When you're an actor and you are inside and you know all these producers, directors, editors, writers, you know people, you have done what casting directors haven't done, what agents haven't done. Like when casting directors and agents come on set, they're out of their element. That's not their home. They haven't done all that. And professional working actors too, you guys. The professional working actors that come on set, and you're there already on set, and you're on set all the time, and you know everybody, it's like your home. But for those professional working actors, they are like a kid in the candy store. Like I mentioned this the other day. But for them, it's like the best thing in the world, and they don't want to leave, because it's not what they get to experience every day. But for you, you experience it every day. This is your home. This is what you do. You understand it. You know it. So casting directors will be blown away that you also know production. So will agents. So will other working actors. And because of that, you guys, people open their doors to you. They see you as different. They refer, like working actors will refer you people. They'll refer you their agent. You know, it's just a very natural conversation to also say, hey, what you been up to? Oh, I just came from the film set. Oh, really? What are you working on? Oh, I'm just working on this with so-and-so, the director, the producer, whoever it is. Oh my God, you're kidding. And now that they're not going to say anything. They're just going to go, holy shit, that's cool. You know, they're not going to go, you know, you're my solution, but they're going to go, wow, that's cool. And they'll make a note in their head, just like you do. When you meet somebody that's done more than other people, you're just like, oh, wow. It puts you at a certain place, a notch in your head for them. So same thing for you. And when they haven't done it, then it's even more impressive that you've done it. So yes. You know, when you're learning something and you try to explain it, you use a lot of words to explain something. But when you've been there, you've known it, you live it, you can use very little words and everybody knows that you know what you're talking about. So that's what you're doing. That's what you're building. It's a whole nother level. The set language. So you're going to learn all of the terms on set. You're going to learn what you say in the walkie. That stuff is like, if there's anything, it's like that stuff you can even go on the internet and study. That's not a big deal. But still, it's great to have one place where you can just learn it and absorb it, and then you got it. You got to have, it's like there's a whole different language happening on set. And yeah, you got to learn it so that you can actually, you know, talk the talk and become one of us. Now you're getting into the tornado of work. This is 4 months, 4 to 6. You're starting to learn the languages of the niches, because every niche has got its own language. So there's different language in camera department, different language in directing, different language in producing, different language in art department, sound department. So you'll learn how to talk like the people in your niche. You'll learn who is who. You'll be able to walk on set and know who the second AD is just by where they're standing and who they're talking to. You'll know who the DP is. You'll know you'll be able to distinguish who a DP is versus a camera operator. You're like, really? And then you'll be able to distinguish if the DP is the camera operator. You'll be able to distinguish who the prop master is, who the main wardrobe stylist is, or who the assistant is. So there's all these little clues. And first of all, you got to know all of the departments and who's the head of each department, who works under who everybody else, have it all make sense, and then you start to observe their jobs and you see how they do the job and you know what their job is, and then it's pretty easy to figure it out. Because a DP is going to be standing next to the director and looking at the lighting and talking to a gaffer and the key grip. And they're also going to be talking to the camera operators, and they will have their first day AC setting up the camera for them. And the second AC will be next to the camera carts. And if there are multiple cameras, every camera will have its own first AC and second AC. Then the DIT will not be that far away. So all this stuff, if you're like, holy shit, what did she just say? Don't worry about it. That's all going to come. It's all going to be like, you're going to be able to say exactly what I just said in like 3 months. All right. What to say in email, by text, in person. When you're in every stage that you're in, you guys, like once you get to month 4 to 6, you're now communicating differently than you were when you just started. When you first started, you're communicating a certain way, and then once you are money, like you are good and in demand, now everything starts to change and it all lines up with somebody that would be like that, you know? So this is just getting you in line just so much faster so that you have that get it factor. By text, how you text with people, what you say to them in person. How do you talk to a producer when you first see them in the morning? What do you say, you know? What do you do when you first meet people, the heads of departments, and you want to later on have a conversation with them? What do you say? On set, after set, how do you follow up with people so that you don't look desperate at the same time, you don't look arrogant, you just tell them that you're available, but you don't want to look like you're looking for work too much. So this is an art. So I'll show you what to say is a big deal. Clues that show you are in demand. We don't say, oh yeah, I'm in demand, I work all the time. There's little clues that show that you're in demand, because when people make the decision about you, that's what counts. When you say things about yourself like, oh, I'm hardworking, motivated, and determined, it's like as if you never even said it. But they will pick up on little clues, you know, like you not being available is one of them actually. You know, they check your availability and you're not available. You might have your day job that day, but you wouldn't tell them that. You would say, oh, darn, I'm not available that day. Well, if your days shift, maybe circle back to me because maybe that'll work. Something like that. And they'll be like, oh, okay, cool. And they'll assume that you're already on another shoot. Acting experience, how to get roles for your reel. See, as you're going through and you're getting more and more sets, you're getting access to different level of roles, because when you first start out and you're just getting experience, you're going to be getting more freebie acting roles, but it'll be professionally shot stuff. But now when you're starting to get into the tornado of work, now you're looking at stuff where they add another role, that this is all paid stuff, they add another role, and now you're actually getting, like I said before, you're getting roles that are paid, that are SAG, that can get you into the union, and that attract agents. So you're doing this, you're always doing your niches at every stage, every phase of this whole program. You know, because you don't just do it once and that's it. No, it changes as you go through the program, because the kind of work that you're doing is higher, better, different. Like, there's a big difference between working in reality TV versus working in a union feature film. So that's a huge, completely different thing. So you could get a role in a reality, probably less chance of that happening, higher chance of getting an indie film, a role in an indie film. And on a union feature film, it could happen, it could not happen, because those are pretty set in stone roles. But it's happened, it happens. How to get referred to agents and CDs. Yes, because by this time is when this is really starting to be important. Because this is where you're starting to really be different than a lot of other people. This is when it gets exciting because this is just exactly where you want to be. And right now, you have only access to web series and student films. You want to get to the stuff in the breakdowns. Well, when you get on professional sets, listen to me now, actors, when you get on professional sets, all that stuff is in the breakdowns. Now, you didn't get a legal breakdown. You're actually in and working on the stuff. So you can get roles without auditioning for them, or you can find out about something that is being auditioned for that's in the breakdowns, and you can just go in and audition for it because you know people. You just ask. And for them, you guys, who are the actors here, professionals don't care. They're just so happy they're super happy to hook you up. Like, they don't care. They're not like going to say, oh, you should go through 10 years of struggle before you are offered a job like this. No. They're just going to be like, oh yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, sure. They don't know that you've only been acting for a year. They don't care. You know, they really don't. Unless they've studied acting, they really, like, there's a lot of directors that don't even know anything about acting. They're just like, oh yeah, like the person did a good job. It's kind of what we're looking for. Yeah, let's go for that person. They don't care that you've just learned it within the last 3 months. Consistent work, very important. You're going to learn the formula for consistent work because that's when you have a career. And that's what a lot of professionals that have been doing this business for many, many years, they don't have consistent work. They don't know how to build consistent work. And you're going to learn it from the very beginning. So you're going to learn my secrets to building consistent workflow. And here's the thing, you guys, work begets work. That's a huge thing. Work begets work. Nothing gets you work other than work. Work begets work. The more you're working, the more you work. Because when they see you working, you guys, you're there, they remember you, that you connect with them, and then they have those people that are working. Work begets work for them too. They get a job, they call you. It's just the most natural thing in the world. It's just the way of a freelance business, the way that it works. You may have connections with professionals. I'm talking about, okay, professionals may have connections with other professionals that they've known for 20 years. They're really tight, okay? But if those people that they have connections with are not working, then they're not going to work. See, that's the other problem. Can you see that? That makes sense? Yeah, that happens to a lot of people. And then they don't know what to do. What do you do at that point? It's like you're a writer, and all of your people that you've been working with for 10 years, all of a sudden they're not working. They left the business, they're not working. They have their own problems because work begets work for them too. So that's why consistent workflow is so important, because you got to keep your momentum going the entire career. As soon as you just think you've got it all and it's just going to come to you, you've just made a huge mistake, because it won't. It will slow down eventually, and then it's really hard to get going. You have an opportunity because you're learning it from the beginning. You're going to be doing it from the beginning, and you're going to be constantly it'll just be the way you do your job. So be the way you do it is you just keep it all going. You're going to make so much money from doing that. You're going to make, $100,000 a year or more, $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 a year for the next 20, 30 years. Is it worth paying $500 a month for 10 months to learn how to do that so that you can do that? Absolutely. Would you rather pay $100,000 and go to film school and have $800 a month interest-only payments for 20 years? That's what a lot of people have, you guys. I just got the email the other day. This guy that went to Brooks Academy for photography, even a community college, you guys, $1,500 is a class. You take the class, you learn a little subject matter. It doesn't show you how to get that work. So you pay $1,500. Now you got to pay for that back, or you paid for it. And then you take another class, $3,000. It's like you can take these classes. You can take classes at community colleges and come away with, I learned some good stuff, but it's not bringing me in money. This whole program is about getting work that pays you money. Everything is focused on that. The whole thing is about that. So, and it's about doing that for the rest of your career. So the other stuff, like how to write something and organize a script, holy crap, you can learn that in 10 minutes. You'll learn that from a professional that will teach it to you, and it'll go into your head a lot more than, oh, I got to study for this test to learn that. See, that's not going to make an impact. What's going to make an impact is going to be to have a professional sit down with you and take a look at your script and go, oh yeah, this is not developed, that's not right, this is crap, this is this. And you're going to be like, oh, but you're going to be like, believe me, you're never going to forget that. It's going to go into the head and you're going to change all those things. And the next one's going to be like way better. Real world is where it's at, you guys. Real world, how to succeed in the real world, that's what this is about. And you know this. Yeah, come on, you already know this. Because I see in Yammer, you're already thinking this way. If this is resonating with you, you're our kind of people. If you're like, no, I'd rather learn it from in school, then fine. But some people are like, I'd rather learn it from somebody that's just going to hold my hand and teach me something. I understand, me too. I would love to have somebody just hold my hand and teach me everything. Okay, real world is not that way. The real world, you don't have somebody holding your hand. In any way, one person can't teach you everything ever anyway. I'm teaching you concepts that I've put together for the last 8 years that really frickin' work, and you can see that it's worked for all these people that were not in the business and now are full-time in the industry. So obviously it works. But probably the most exciting thing about this whole thing is that you're going out into the real world and doing it. So you're changing as a person, you're becoming more capable, and you're learning how to be successful in the real world and having all these people take you under your wing and teach you. So you're going to be learning from people in the industry and they're only going to be the working ones. So you're not learning from people that are not working because they are not there on set. So you're learning from the successful people. The most successful people are the ones that are always working on the film set. And those are going to be the people that you'll be working with because you'll be implementing our methods to work with them. Make sense? Take the stuff, learn it, do it, come back, have your experiences, have me talk to you again. Then, because every time you step in the river at a different place, when you're starting off right now, all the stuff you're concerned about right now, it's going to change because you're going to change. And your experiences is what is going to change you. So right now, you're stepping in the river and you're like, have all these concerns and all this stuff and how am I going to pay for this? And then in 3 months, you're not going to be worried about that anymore because things will have changed. And then you'll have me telling you different things. Also in the tornado of work. Learning how to overbook, because you're going to find that one of the problems that you don't have right now, but you're going to have, is that you're going to have too much work coming in. People asking you for the same days. So you have to handle it so that you are in demand, but you also don't burn bridges. Because you can't just go, sorry, I can't do your job anymore. Then you will be burning a bridge. Would you like that if somebody did that for you? They thought that they had it all done and handled and you're on the job and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't do it anymore. It's like, what? That is so rude. But yeah, you can really burn bridges. So you'll learn how to handle overbooking where people want you for the same days. Because it's going to happen where you're on a shoot and they put you on hold. Now they're not booking you. They're putting you on hold. They're never booking you unless they use the word book. And the amateurs will use the word book, but they don't know what they're even saying. Because book means that you pay me whether the job cancels or not. So professionals will not use the word book until you have a challenge. See, there's all this stuff that you will learn, but until you have a challenge where people want you for the same day and the one that can book you will be the one that actually books you. And that means that whether their job, if it cancels, you're still going to get paid. They're booking you. They're committing to you. So there's a way to handle that with the order that the phone calls came in. Number 2 is call sheet to look exceptional. How to find people quick, how to read that call sheet so that you are able to just take a look at it and use it right there on set. What to do if people want to put you in a contract. This is all stuff that happens during the tornado of work phase, month 4 through 6. And then using the tornado to get niche jobs, to show that you are also working in the niche at the same time as you're doing the assistant jobs. And you're getting your days for the union. You're setting this whole thing up, you guys. And then when you're making $1,000 a month in the film industry, that's when you quit the day job. Also in phase 3, the tornado of work, get director, producer, casting director, writer, assistant jobs. How to get these jobs. Those are great. You know why? Because you're working directly with people that can impact your career directly for the next 20 to 30 years. You're helping them. That means that they're taking interest in you and your career. That means that they're going to refer you stuff in the future. Social media, the Friends in Film way, how to show that you're in demand, not promoting or bragging. How to audition to get the job either in front of or behind the camera. How casting directors see you is different than other actors, so explain that. How to land postings. Now, in Los Angeles, you won't be responding to postings because nobody is posting anything because they don't want to have millions of people responding, oh, I can do the job, I can do the job. But if you're in a place like Orlando, or you're in Bristol and you're in the UK, or you're in Brisbane if you're in Australia, those are minor markets, still good markets. People come from Sydney to Brisbane, people come from London to Bristol, people come from Los Angeles to Orlando, and they don't necessarily know people there. So they will sometimes put postings up there. And then you can be the one to get those postings if you know how to respond to them. There's the walk on set method, where you walk on set and you talk to the right people and you get a job and they see you. And you just have a very relaxed conversation. It's just super effective, but this is an advanced method. Then there's the boomerang method, another method where you go around to the production companies and you just like, hey, I've been working on set all these times. I'm working with all these people. Love to work with you. Here's my information. And again, you got to have been on at least, I'd say, like 30, 40, 50 sets before you do either of these two methods if you want to have success doing it. Because you've got to be the man. You got to be the woman, you know? And you will be by that time. Okay. Also, look at how big this phase is. Yes, it is, because you're doing a hell of a lot. You're really shaping this up and making this happen. And if you're like, I don't know if I have time to do all this stuff, you will. You'll just fit it in, you know? And you don't have to do everything and cram it all in. If it takes you a year, who cares? If it takes you a year and a half, who cares? You're still doing it. Magic list vectoring. Now this is using the magic list, which you learn how to put together in month 2, but the magic list never gets done because you're always adding people that you want to meet, that you want to interface with, that can give you work to your magic list. So you may find the magic list is now starting to change and become bigger because as you find, hey, I really want to move into sports. I really want to move into more travel jobs. I want to move more into big movies. Now the stuff that you get on your magic list will come from conversations with people. It'll come from people that you have worked with that you're like, oh my God, I need to pursue this kind of work more. The niche accelerator. So acting, writing, camera, stunts, all the niches. You're going to learn how to get into the union, SAG if you're an actor, Writers Guild if you're a writer, Directors Guild if you're a director or first AD. Every single niche has its own union. There's the sound union. VTR is part of the sound union. There's the camera union. There's the art department union. There's locations. So everybody has their own union, how to get into the union. You're going to learn how to put together a kit for your niche, what you should have. So for example, an acting kit would be headshots, okay? It would be your acting resume. You'd have a business card for your acting kit. You would have probably hairspray, you'd have makeup, you'd have clothes that you have with you, you'd have certain wardrobe, you would have certain stuff that you'd wear underneath your clothes. That would be in your acting kit. You'd have lip stuff. Have a camera assistant kit. Oh boy, now that's going to have tape and Leatherman and waterproof stuff and sunscreen and and like lens cleaning stuff, and oh, it's just a massive amount of stuff for camera assistant kit. Effects, reel, stuff that you're going to need if you're in the effects area, what they need to have in their kit in their backpack. If you're doing stunts, or a certain stunt, you're going to have that stuff in the trunk of your car so that you can talk to the stunts coordinator about it and maybe show them. You want to have that with you. Everybody has their stuff that they need depending on the niche that it is. There's wardrobe kit, there's even a boom operator kit, there's a makeup kit, everybody's got their kit. Director assistant, as I said earlier, producer assistant, that gets you working really close with people. So you want to learn how to specifically get those jobs. Then you're going to be able to put a resume together that is based on your experience list that gets you hired on the spot over everybody else. And we do our resumes different than anybody else. Phase 4 is where you start moving into the niche. So now you're done the tornado work, you're in the industry, which in itself is a feat, and film school doesn't get you there. Okay, film school does nothing to show you how to get into the business of the film business. So now you're in the business. Now you're learning how to move into the niche that you really want to get into. Months 6 to 7, you're using the assistant jobs to get into these niches. You're going to learn the reach out formula, how you reach out to people, how to get your own niche team. So when you start doing these jobs, then you're going to get thrown into situations and you're going to want to have a team of people that you can call. Like one of our people did not have a team, and he got thrown into doing a job, a DIT job. Not thrown into, he accepted the job before he was qualified for it. He had no team to call and find out how to do the job beforehand. So he made a mistake and they had to do a reshoot because of him. You don't want that to happen to you. That's one of the worst things. I remember him telling me, oh yeah, well, they had to do a reshoot. It wasn't that big of a deal. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? That is a huge deal. They just were nice to you, but it's a huge deal. They had to go into their insurance money to reshoot that whole day. That's enormous deal. You want to have a team of people that when you're doing something you haven't done before, that you can call, even on the day while you're doing the job, and ask them. You got to make your mistakes. You don't even know what mistakes that you're going to make, that you don't know, you've never been exposed to it before. So you're going to make mistakes. I made mistakes. You're going to make them. Everybody makes mistakes. So you want to make them while you're doing the lower budget shoots. The first time you do anything, you're kind of slow at it, you're really nervous about it, you maybe you don't communicate that well, you use too many words to explain what you're doing or why you're doing it, but the second time you do it, then you're able to articulate it better, you're able to do it faster, and if a mistake happens or something comes up during that, because see, that's the thing, the film industry, it's like, yeah, you might know how to do something, but then they throw in another element, like, well, the wind comes up, or the sun is now over here and it wasn't before and you didn't expect that, or now another department has a fan, or you're like, what? Well, I know, but it's just like it's all these little things that come that are that craft of filmmaking that you think you got figured out, but then something else that you didn't consider. So it's only through like 20 years of experience I kind of know, okay, this is happening, so we've got to consider these 10 things that could possibly happen, and then be prepared for it and have the stuff with me and ready and working and clean and all that stuff. Everything, just like there's just so many millions of details to every single thing. I don't care what department it is. It can be, production assistant is one, director assistant is another, hair is another. Hair, it's like, well, how many things could you think about with hair? Are you kidding me? There's mustaches, there's hairs, there's flyaways, there's static electricity, there's sweat, there's some people their hair gets curly, some people their hair gets flat, there's there's wind, there's so many things that just go into that craft of knowing how to do hair for set. For the first 6 months of this program, you're to learn it when it's not your ass and you're going to watch other people and it's their ass. But that's fine. They're getting paid the $500 or $1,000 a day. And you watch from them and you can learn, especially you'll learn when it's not your ass. And when it is your ass, you're going to learn too. We have a two-prong approach to vectoring for each niche. Now, vectoring is being very focused on where you want to go and using people and experiences to get to where you want to go. So there's one way to vector where you're vectoring towards the niche that you want to do, and the other one is towards the sector you want to do. So for me, it was sound and wildlife films, and then it became sound and commercials. And of course, in the sector, I've done TV, I've done reality TV, I've done documentaries, I've done feature films, I've done union feature films, I've done promos, I've done news, I've done pretty much everything. I've done music videos, but my sector is commercials. And you're going to find which sector that you want to be in, and probably even after your first year is when you're really going to kind of figure that out. So, but you can start off be like, oh, I want to do wildlife stuff and I want to do camera for wildlife stuff. That's fine. And just knowing that will lead you down a path that will expand and grow. So, for instance, camera niche vectoring, you would go into depth into getting that kit together, getting your union days, getting started, preparing. For writer niche, you'd get into writing rooms, you get referred to an agent, you start getting this personal coach if you know you want to do writing. For acting, you'd get a personal coach, somebody teach you one-to-one, get an agent, get in that casting rooms, use your production inside experience to get in the casting rooms, and so that you're meeting casting directors. Now they meet you not as an actor, they meet you as part of production. Oh, that gives you a lot of power. Oh, it's just super awesome, very personal. So you're going to do a magic list for each sector. So the sectors are sports, music videos, TV, shows like Netflix, indie films, union feature films, commercials, news. Am I missing some? Oh, there's just a ton. Music videos. There's just all these sectors, wildlife stuff. There are people that are shooting the Olympics right now that do sports. They work for NBA, NFL, whoever it is you want to work for. You can do it. You can work for the NBA. I worked for the NBA. You can work for NFL Films. You're going to learn how to target that sector. And you're going to find how to get natural mentors out of the people that hire you. If you think about it, it's going to be the people that hire you that are your fans, those become your mentors. And you're going to get mentors from people that in certain departments that you work alongside. Like, production designers, like directors. Maybe you want to have directors as part of your mentors, but you're a writer. Or you want to have a producer, a couple producers that are your mentors, but you're a director. That's awesome. I mean, if you think about it, this is how you go fast. You're also going to have mentors. Who else would be mentors? Well, if you're a DP, you're going to have other DPs that are your competitors, but some of them will also become your mentors. If you're a writer, you're going to have other writers that are also your competitors, but some of them will also be mentors. The same thing with every single one of these. Okay, then finally, phase 6, the last month, is the niche tornado, when you're using non-union professional shoots to get union qualifying days. Obviously, if you're not in the union, you can't do union shoots in a niche. You can get on a union shoot as a production assistant because there is no union for production assistants. Now, if you're like, I don't even know what she's talking about, don't worry about it. This is all going to come to you. I just want you to know what this is, to see what it is that we're teaching here. By month 8, you're going to be like totally a different person by this time anyway. You're going to learn how to vector to your favorite TV show features. Like I vectored towards National Geographic. You could vector towards Game of Thrones, whatever it is that you really want to do, or working with certain people like Spielberg. There's ways you can vector towards working with people like that. And really, in all of the niches, you're looking at $500 a day plus, because that's the union contract. That's what these jobs pay. This is like the lowest entry level pay for 10 hours. And you're going to learn how to push the niche, grow your team, and work. That's the most important thing. It's like work, work, work. This is about work. This is not about like learning a bunch of information and having it in your head. No, absolutely not. This is about learning it and going out in the world and doing it. Okay, work. And that you learn it by working. That's it. Paid work, paid professional work. That's how you learn all this stuff. And consistent freelance, people know you and like you, obviously. And then you're going to learn the master plan for LA if you want to move to LA. You're going to learn how to refer people and how to get referred. You're going to learn the reciprocity method. You're going to learn the reciprocity method, which means when you refer somebody, then they refer you back. Then you're going to learn the peer-to-peer way to get people referring you for jobs. See, all the stuff I'm talking about is all like what you do with people. Exactly. And then you're going to learn the 5 sectors for travel, if you want to travel a lot, or if you want a certain kind of lifestyle, or what gives you an exciting life. Like, you will have a completely different life if you go into TV than you will if you do commercials. Than you will if you do documentaries. It's a completely different life. Different income too. Like, you're going to make a lot more money if you do commercials than if you do documentaries. If you do sports, you're going to do probably somewhere in the middle there. If you do TV, you can make as much money as you're doing in commercials, but you're going to be working your ass off a lot harder. Union feature films, you're going to be traveling a lot away from your family. So each of these sectors gives you a different lifestyle. Month 1 is positioning. Month 2 to 3 is getting experience. Month 4 through 6, phase 3 is the tornado of work. Phase 4, month 6 is moving into the niche. Phase 5, month 7 is mentors in your niche. Getting mentors in your niche to personally coach you. Month 8, which is phase 6, is the tornado, the niche tornado. I'll just go over this really quickly. Why people choose Friends of Film. Here we're getting paid professional work during the program. Here you are not on any professional shoots. You might come and observe, but big deal. It's only when you're working on the shoots that you're really doing it. You start your career right now versus waiting a year. Here you wait a year and then you work for the school. A lot of people end up working for the school because they don't know how to get you into the industry. Here we learn from professionals how to write, act, direct, from the real people that are doing it today. Those are the people to learn from, not the people that are not working. Here you're in a classroom with other people. Friends of Film, you're using the vectoring system to move up into your niche. Here, they have no clue about anything like that. Here you pay it off, you pay off the program as you get paid work in the film industry. It's just 2 to 3 days in a month, and you can make the monthly payment easily for Friends on Film. Because if you're making $200 a day and you're working 10 days in a month, that's $2,000. And then you can easily pay for the Friends on Film program. And again, that only lasts 8 months. Film and acting school, that will be 20 years that you're paying off. $600 per month for 20 years or more. You become a paid professional in 8 months. Actually, it's more like 4 months. Here, now after all of this and you have this debt, now you have to come back to Friends of Film and learn how to actually get the work. It's all about getting the paid professional work. You just don't learn this anywhere. So you can do it 2 ways. You can do it as gold or platinum. And gold is $497 a month for 10 months. It's a payment plan. It's not a membership, it's a payment plan, which means that I'm taking the amount that this program costs and spreading it out over 10 months. And I'm putting a lot of the content up front so that you are able to get it and build a career. So I do expect that you're going to pay the payment plan. And as you're making money in the industry, it'll become very easy to make this payment plan. And imagine having to work outside the industry like these other people that went to film school and they have to pay $800 a month and they're working like doing as a draftsman or something. They're not even in the industry. Here you are in the industry. You're paying for a program that's getting you in the industry and getting you even more and giving you even more work. And then after 10 months, you're done. You're done. It's over. You paid for it. You did it. You're the smart one. And then after the 10 months, it's $99 a month as long as you need it. Because after the 10 months, now you have more overlaps. Now you have different things that will come up and you're going to have more questions. And then by that time, you're making a couple $1,000s in the industry, and it's just nothing to pay $99 to talk to me, to stay in the conversation, to email me, to be in Yammer, to get work from Yammer, which you can get paid work from our Yammer group as well, our mastermind, because we pass the work around. And if you want to pay in full, you guys, some people don't like payments. They don't even want to think about payments. So what you should do if you want to pay in full is just go to this page, friendsandfilm.com/industry, sign up, make the first payment, and then email me and let me know, please contact me to pay it off in full, and then we'll contact you and you can pay off the balance on your credit card or through PayPal credit or whatever it is, however you want to do it. So there's 2 ways to do this program, as gold or platinum. And it's the same videos, the same module, it's the same mastermind and the same phone calls, except platinum people have a higher level of access to me. And they are considered platinum. And that means that I will look over your emails, I will look over your resume, I'll make a video on your resume to show you what to improve. I will respond when I'm on set and a situation comes up and you're platinum, you'll put that in your email and I'll respond to you immediately. I'll move you faster in the training if you're platinum, if you're doing everything, because I'm not going to move you faster because if you're not doing stuff, because then it wouldn't help you. You have to have done the stuff in order to be ready for it. But platinum is only $100 more a month. So if you can afford it, I would do it. But if you're barely able to afford gold, then just do gold. The main thing is that you just do it. So $597 a month for 10 months. Then platinum is also $99 a month as long as you need it after the 10 months. And if you want to pay it off in full, this is a huge discount. $1,000 off if you want to pay it in full. So again, if you want to pay it off in full, then and then after, so the 10 months, the $99 would start happening again. But that's optional, by the way. For both programs, the $99 a month is completely optional. You don't have to continue. It's just that most people do, and they stay and do it for years because they want to stay in the conversation. And being involved in this program makes them money anyway. So the $99 a month is nothing. So if you want to do platinum, you can just go to this page, friendsandfilm.com/industry, sign up, and then tell us that you want to pay it off in full, and then we'll contact you. And if you don't want to pay it off in full, then just know that every 30 days you're going to be having the next payment for 10 months. And then it's done, and that's it. That's it, you paid for it. And you've also, by that time, you're in the business working, and you're working on your niche. Okay, so if you're worried about making a bad decision, which, you've just found me, you're probably pretty blown away by a lot of the stuff that you're seeing here, and you're learning, and it's all making sense, but still, you're just want to feel good about it, and I want you to feel good about it, and I only want people that are in this program that really want to do it. They're the right people. So I give a 14-day money-back guarantee. I can't wait any longer than 14 days because after that we really get into the big stuff. So the people that ask for their money back and then leave the program, I don't want them to get that stuff. But still, I want you to be able to get exposed to this and know what this is and feel good about it. So the first 14 days, there's a money back, no questions guarantee. And it's friendsandfilm.com/industry. So you can go there right now if you want to. Now, as soon as you sign up, you're going to get in and you'll get module 1 right away, and you'll get our past conference calls, and you'll also get all the bonuses. And that's for the first 30 people. So we're not up to 30 people yet, so you can still get in there. You guys, if you want this page, email me. Just tell me, hey, I want to see the labor guide. And I'll give you the link to this website, and then I'll give you the link and the password. You need a password. And then you can show this to everybody. This is a union contract. This is the A-List program. When you type in friendsandfilm.com/industry, that'll take you to this page. And if you want to register, you just hit register. Then you pick one of these plans, the gold or the platinum, and then you sign up. And then if you have a question for a mentor, Then go to this page. I've been sending you this page through the emails, Friends and Film Mentors, and you can click on any of these and you can read about our mentors. Now, I'm the only one that teaches this program. I'm talking about the A-List program. The mentors help out, they're involved, but they don't teach this program. This is all my baby. I just want you to know that you're not joining a program where other people are teaching you. It's me. So people have babysat. They put it on a zero interest credit card. They borrowed money. They've worked overtime. You know, just 3 weekends working overtime gave them enough money to pay for this program. They reduced their expenses. They cut their cable. They drove for Postmates, Instacart. They would stop eating out. That's huge because that's like 30 bucks. You can spend like $10 to $15 just for lunch times 5. That's like $100 a week. Okay, so that's enough for a payment. So would you rather eat out or would you rather do something that actually gets you where you want to be in your life? Even if you did this program and you didn't even want to be in the film industry, you would still get where you want to be in life by doing this program, because this is a success training for everything. Because whatever it is you want to do, it's always going to be being very attractive to people to get the opportunity. I don't care if you're a welder, I don't care if you're, whatever, any business you do, it's always being extremely attractive, music to the ears of the people that are your customers, or that are your boss, or that are other businesses that are going to do business with you. If you've got student debt, here's some examples of people put their debt in forbearance. She got overtime at her job, she cut out restaurants, she did the promotional modeling brand ambassador work, which you can make. In 4 days, she made $720 for that. Well, that pays for the program. Okay, Erin picked up extra shifts. She babysat. Okay, Amy worked as an actor and a nanny in Chicago. She worked as a nanny. That's how she was making her money. She said that when she started it, she was still like, is it really going to get me where I want to be? But she said she had nothing to lose. Even if it got her one step closer to the right direction, well, she got a whole career. And she is now in Los Angeles working. She started in Chicago, now she's in Los Angeles, and she's working on a TV show right now. See, she's talking about it right here. She's been in LA for a year. She's been a UPM, unit production manager for commercials. Do you guys realize that is a niche job? That's producer, basically, for commercials. You guys, there's an example right there how this program works. Before that, she was a nanny. She's working on Blade Runner on the Sony lot. Jake started in the New England market, which is Maine, went to New York City, tried to break into New York City as an actor. It didn't work. He spent all his money. He came back to Maine. He was depressed. Then he found Friends and Film. And he's like, well, I might as well give it a shot. He did. He started getting on film shoots in Maine. Then he came to Los Angeles. And he has never stopped working. He hit the ground running, which is exactly what you should do. You should work in your local market and then come to Los Angeles and hit the ground running. So this page here, just tell me, send me the links and I'll send you this page and I'll send you the other page. You're probably exhausted now. But so if you have any questions, just email me and tell me where you're at. Tell me what's going on. We'll probably do another Q&A sometime later in the week. So anyway, yeah, just email me. Let me know what you have, what questions you have. And if you're able to sign up, then get going. There's some people here that are already signed up and they're like, it's amazing. Yes, it is. It'll be the best thing that you've ever done. I know this because I live this. I get to see from my perspective, you starting, you changing, you getting on shoots, you getting this, you getting this. I get to see it all. I see it all.